Yeah, so what's up, guys? I hope you are doing fine. I hope you are great as well. So, yeah, today I just want to explain something very quick on the fair value gap. I think there's a lot of misconception around it, so I want to demystify that, right? So, fair value gap, we have two types of fair value gap. We have bullish fair value gap and bearish fair value gap. And we are all aware that fair value gaps are three candle formations or patterns, right? So, to delineate a bullish fair value gap, you have to delineate the high of the first candle and the low of the third candle. So the portion that you have left actually dictates a fair value gap, and it is called BC. Now, for a bearish fair value gap as well, you have to delineate the low of the first candle and the high of the third candle. So the portion that you have left actually, in a sense, dictates what a fair value gap is, and it is called CB. Now, BC means buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And CB means sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So what does this really mean in its own context? Because it has meaning in its own context, and you have to really understand. Because when you understand what fair value gap is, when you understand it, when it comes to market mechanics, right? And the psychology behind it, you will know how to trade it properly, and you stop, you know, mistaking it for what it's not. You get what I'm saying now? So BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. It means that buy side creates imbalance in a supposed market condition where there's supposed to be a balance between buyers and sellers. So buyers create an imbalance in a supposed condition where there's supposed to be a balance equation between buyers and sellers. Sell-side inefficiency, it means that in this current market condition, price going up swiftly like this, sellers not participating in it make this price to be inefficient. Do you understand that? It makes this price to be inefficient. You get what I'm saying now? So basically, the same thing goes for this guy as well, which is this bearish fair value gap, and it's called CB, sell-side imbalance, buy-side inefficiency. Now, price moving down swiftly like this, right? We have sell-side imbalance there. Sellers make this price to be, or this market condition right here to be inefficient, right? They make this price in here they create imbalance in this condition, right? In a supposed area or condition where sellers and buyers are supposed to participate and make it balanced. So they create an imbalance in this condition, right? So that is sell side imbalance. Now, buy side inefficiency means that buyers not participating in this move, going lower, right, make this market condition to be inefficient. You get what I'm saying now? So that is why we always frame price delivery around fair value gap or CB or BC. You get what I'm saying now? Because whenever price returns to that, right, there's usually a reprice. There's usually a form of like a rebalance of an imbalance in price. Now, imbalance, rebalance runs on liquidity, right? Imbalance, rebalance runs on, you'll be in this condition, you'll be expecting runs on liquidity. You can see we have the same condition here. We have this small imbalance here, right? So imbalance, rebalance runs on liquidity. Where's the liquidity? Buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity. Do you get that? Imbalance, rebalance runs on liquidity. You get the idea? Imbalance, rebalance runs on liquidity. Imbalance, rebalance runs on liquidity. Now, to make price fully efficient, it has to be closed efficiently. All right. So, and there's another misconception around fair value gap, right? Some people say that, okay, induced fair value, there's nothing like induced fair value gap. All right. Fair value gap cannot be induced. It can only be reclaimed or inverted. You get what I'm saying now? It can be only be reclaimed or inverted. So the word induce in its own context, it has to do with a high and a low where orders are being paired, right? Basically, there's something I will be teaching which is called market efficiency paradigm, right? That's the place we use the word induce, right? So inducement has nothing to do with inducing price has nothing to do with fair value gap. If I thought they have any relationship, is when a high is being induced, you expect the fair value gap to be created. You get what I'm saying now? Either we induce, okay, for example, we induce this high, we created a fair value gap. Does that make sense? Right? We induce this low, we created a fair value gap. We induce this high, we created a fair value gap. So in this condition right here, right, price is efficiently delivered and rebalanced here. So when price created a bearish fair value gap delineating the low of the first candle and the high of the third candle, right? You can see price efficiently trade into that gap by using this other block as support as well, but we are focusing just on fair value gap. So now price is efficiently priced here. It is fairly priced. That is why it is called fair value gap. So whenever price returns to this level, right, it means that price is now efficiently and fairly priced. Fairly priced between buyers and sellers. Do you get the idea now? So whenever price returns to an area like this, price is fairly priced. So we can see condition whereby fair value gap are not fully closed. So why do we see that in price action? Is because the reason why we see that in price action is because price wants to quickly run to an area of liquidity. Like it wants to quickly run to that level. That's why you see after and these levels, when you have something like this, you can see price didn't actually, in a sense, closed it efficiently, right? Just close half of it and then runs to the upside. When you have conditions like that, right? Price wants to quickly run to an area of liquidity, which is this high and other high residing at the left-hand side of the chart, right? So, and you can see that we're creating big candles after that. And after price run this high, we still create, some of series candles as well. That shows you that price wants to really run an area of liquidity, right? The same thing happens here. You can see after price actually closed this gap, right? Big candles follows, right? After price actually closed the gap, big candles, can see that in price. Now, fair value gap cannot be induced. It can only be reclaimed, right, and inverted. Now, this is a reclaimed fair value gap. Look at this fair value gap right here, right? Price used the fair value gap and price came back to it to reclaim it for another sales. You get what I'm saying now? So the right fair value gap to use, how to know the right fair value gap to use, right? It's going to be a matter of context, narrative, and framework. Basically, you don't need framework, all right? But it's going to be a matter of context and narrative. The two have to be very strong, and you can use market efficiency paradigm to know the right fair value gap to use. You can even anticipate fair value gap that is going to be created. You get what I'm saying now? So you can anticipate fair value gap. All right. You can anticipate it, fair value gap if you have the nice narrative and context backing it up. So I hope was able to, in a sense, clear a little kind of misconception around. It cannot be induced. It can only be rebalanced, right? It can only be inverted, and it can only be what? Reclaimed. All right. So and these portions that price left behind, right? You can see that price didn't fully close that level, right? At some point in time, price would want to, in a sense, draw back to them as what? As targets, because it has not been efficiently closed. You get the idea? So that make a lot of sense. So I think that will be all from me. So I will see you guys in the next one. All right.